What happens when two regional powerhouses armed with advanced military technology and deep-seated enmity bring their decades-long shadow war into full view? When missiles light up the skies over Tehran and underground bunkers echo with blasts, the tremors are felt far beyond the Middle East. The latest Israeli airstrikes on Iranian military infrastructure mark not just another chapter in an old rivalry but potentially the start of a new global reckoning. From energy markets to diplomatic halls, the stakes are growing and the clock is ticking. In this segment, we unpack one of the most consequential military escalations of 2025, Israel's recent multi-pronged air assault on Iran, which targeted 6 major airports and destroyed at least 15 military aircraft. More than a simple tit-for-tat exchange, this operation signals a strategic shift in warfare and diplomacy in the region. We'll explore the origins of the conflict, the military calculus driving both nations, and the wider implications for global peace, security, and economic stability. Whether you're a policymaker, a business leader, or a concerned citizen, this story affects us all. Overnight, the Israeli Defense Forces IDF launched precision strikes on 6 Iranian airbases, crippling airfields across central and western Iran. The IDF reports the destruction of 15 aircraft, including aging but still strategic F-14 and F-5 fighter jets, as well as helicopters and a refueling tanker. This is not the first Israeli offensive in recent weeks. In fact, it's part of a broader campaign following earlier airstrikes on Iran's nuclear facilities and command centers. But this operation marks a significant escalation in its targeting scope, focusing not only on nuclear threats but also on conventional military assets critical to Iran's regional power projection. Israel's strategy here appears twofold. First, degrade Iran's ability to retaliate from the air. Second, test the resolve of both Tehran and the international community. These strikes were enabled by Mossad intelligence and carried out with advanced drone support and satellite guidance, demonstrating Israel's growing operational edge. Iran's response has so far been muted in public, but behind closed doors, its military command is undoubtedly recalibrating. This calculated escalation by Israel is not just about Iran's capabilities, it's also about messaging. With tensions at a boiling point and no clear diplomatic off-ramp, Israel is signaling that it is willing to go further than ever before to deter Iranian aggression. The risks: a wider regional war, especially if Iran decides to respond via its proxy network in Lebanon, Syria, Iraq, or Yemen. The response from the global community has been swift but fractured. The United States, while supportive of Israel's right to defend itself, is now grappling with how to prevent the situation from spiraling into a full-blown regional war. A proposed ceasefire agreement, reportedly brokered in part by President Trump, demands that Iran halt hostilities first, followed by an Israeli cessation. However, Tehran has dismissed this approach as one-sided and has called for immediate intervention to hold Israel accountable for what it terms acts of war. Europe is walking a tightrope. France and Germany have condemned the escalation but stopped short of criticizing Israel directly, wary of undermining long-standing security cooperation. Meanwhile, Russia and China have seized on the opportunity to position themselves as peace brokers, criticizing the Western approach and proposing alternative negotiation frameworks that would reduce U.S. influence in the region. These diplomatic shifts signal a reconfiguration of power alignments that could have long-term consequences for Middle Eastern diplomacy. The United Nations Security Council convened an emergency session, but as expected, reached no consensus. While Western nations emphasized the need to prevent Iran from acquiring nuclear weapons, other members stressed the importance of sovereignty and non-aggression. The lack of a unified voice raises a troubling question. In a world increasingly defined by multipolar interests, can the international community still prevent war? The military escalation has already begun to reverberate through global markets. Oil prices spiked within hours of the strikes, with Brent crude crossing the $100 per barrel mark as traders brace for possible disruptions in the Strait of Hormuz, a critical choke point for global energy supplies. Shipping insurers have raised rates on vessels traversing the Persian Gulf, while airlines are rerouting flights to avoid Iranian airspace, raising costs and complicating logistics across Asia and Europe. The economic ripples don't end there. Investor confidence in Middle Eastern markets is plunging, while sanctions risks have reignited fears of global inflation. For countries already grappling with post-pandemic recovery, the specter of a protracted Middle East war threatens fragile supply chains and stokes food security concerns in vulnerable nations dependent on imports. And then, there's the humanitarian toll. Civilian infrastructure in Iran, airports, power plants, communication networks has reportedly suffered collateral damage, and while casualty reports remain unconfirmed, early signs point to disruptions in essential services across several provinces. Human rights organizations are urging both sides to establish humanitarian corridors, warning that millions could be affected if conflict continues unabated. The threat of mass displacement, especially in border regions, could spill over into neighboring countries and strain already overburdened refugee systems. The Iran-Israel conflict is no longer a shadow war, it's a high-stakes confrontation with profound global consequences. Diplomats, military leaders, and ordinary citizens alike must confront a sobering reality. The fuse has been lit, and what happens next could redefine regional power dynamics and international security for years to come. Whether through de-escalation, deterrence, or diplomacy, the world must act and act fast before this blaze consumes more than just its point of origin.
From the Middle East, the Israeli Defense Forces have successfully destroyed and brought down the gate to Iran's main political prison, Evin prison, which of course is the home of many political prisoners right now. And also, the whole thing is completely chaotic. We are getting information about that. Almost 1,000 IRGC members and militants have been eliminated over the last couple of hours. Many strikes by the IDF across the capital in Tehran. The whole city has been brought down. And in the meantime, the Crown Prince of Iran, Reza Pahlavi, has announced that the transition government is coming. He and his team are in touch with the defectors from the armed forces who are joining the revolution, and things are happening. And of course, we have a very interesting social media post by Benjamin Netanyahu of Israel. And I've got my haircut, which is the most important thing. And we actually have finally the lion, the sun and lion flag of Iran, or the rising lion, which is coming home. All right, so let's give you guys the latest update. Evin prison in the north of Tehran has been destroyed by the IDF. This is a short video of the moment that the main gate was opened and destroyed by the Israelis. This is a historic moment. Today in Iran, this is their Berlin Wall moment. Ladies and gentlemen, this gate of the Evin prison has been a very symbolic thing over the last few decades. I love how in the live chat you guys are focusing on the very, very important things when it comes to this. People are saying, breaking news, new haircut. Yes, that's the important thing, right? Also, it did get a little bit too short. I wasn't really expecting that. Anyway, the Iranian citizens are now storming towards the Evin prison where the political prisoners are located. Let's quickly go to that video. We are getting some more information about what's happening inside and outside the prison. The gate of hell has been opened. So, some of the intel we received also thanks to our 2CTV reporter Niak Orbani, that families of prisoners are obviously have gathered in front of the Evin prison. The update that we have is that the overall situation inside the prison is chaotic. There are reports of unrest, prison riots, blocked corridors, and prison wardens and officials are fleeing the premises. They're not staying in the prison. Sources claim that only a few armed guards remain in place, preventing the prisoners, all of them, from escaping or other people from entering. It's a completely chaotic situation. Of course, the families are trying to go in to rescue their loved ones. There are also reports that the prison's deputy warden has been eliminated by the IDF. We will get the confirmation from Israelis shortly, and also we'll wait for more updates from NIAC and other sources. So that's happening right now. The whole thing is, the gates have been blown up, and there are more videos coming from Evin. We'll talk about that, and then we're going to talk about what the king of Iran, Reza Pahlavi, is planning to do. I believe the next video, we have to give a shout out to Iran International.
اوینه اینجا، زندان اوین، زندان اوین زن.
Millions and millions of Iranians have been waiting for this historic moment, and they are finally getting it. As I said, over the last couple of hours, the Israeli fighter jets and the IDF in general have been eliminating almost 1,000 IRGC members and militants, including the Basijis. Basijis, of course, the paramilitary wing of the Islamic Revolutionary Guard. These are the people who go around and beat up the protesters, essentially. And most of them are young people as well. They've been brainwashed. The headquarters have been destroyed. First, let's talk about the main headquarters of IRGC in Karaj, to the obviously outside of Tehran, to the west of it. Completely been obliterated by the Israelis in a surprise attack that they weren't even expecting at that point. Watch this. Yeah, we now have confirmation that the main headquarters of the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps no longer exists. Watch. The true definition of F around and find out. They had a chance to surrender. They had a chance to make some sort of deal and stop enriching uranium. They had a chance to stop attacking Israel. They had a chance to stop threatening the rest of the world and oppressing their own people in Iran. They said no. And of course, now this is the result. The IRGC headquarters in the west of Tehran has also been well, completely ruined now. We do have a short video from that. Let's quickly go and watch. Completely destroyed, and of course the IRGC members are not too happy today. The tears of the Islamic Republic of Iran. We have to start, actually, I do have my our 2CTV mug. I'm gonna have to start collecting the Islamic Republic tears slowly or surely. All right, that's happening. Israel Katz has come out. Israel Katz, the defense minister of the state of Israel, has said that in accordance with the directives of Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and myself, the IDF is now attacking with unprecedented force regime targets and government repression bodies in the heart of Tehran, including the Basij headquarters, Evin prison for political prisoners and opponents of the regime, the destruction of Israel clock in the Palestine Square in Tehran, the internal security headquarters of the Revolutionary Guard, the ideology headquarters, and other regime targets. For every shot fired at the Israeli home front, the Iranian dictator will be punished, and the attacks will continue with full force. We will continue to work to defend the home front and defeat the enemy until all war goals are achieved. Yes, the clock has been brought down finally. So in case you don't know, the Iranian regime have had this weird clock at the Palestine Square. Yeah, That is literally a Palestine square in Tehran, right? And they just renamed it. They had this clock that shows how many days Israel has until it gets destroyed. Well, the clock has been destroyed now, so whoopsie. And the ideology headquarters. Now, this is part of the lessons that the Islamic Republic learned from Chairman Mao and China. We must have an ideology headquarters. It's just to brainwash people, basically. Re-education camps. Benjamin Netanyahu, the Prime Minister, has done a very interesting post on Instagram. Look at this. The two lions of Israel and Iran. Yes, the Hebrew lion and the Persian lion hanging out, looking into the sun, waiting for a brighter future. So, take it as what you will. Of course, that means that the change is coming. Now, the King of Iran, King Reza Pahlavi, is stepping up. He just made a very important speech, a press conference in Paris, France. And he outlined his plans in terms of the transition government. He started with a direct message to Ali Khamenei. Oh, by the way, we do have an update on the Supreme Leader. You're going to love this. This is going to be fun. The Supreme Leader is a little bit lonely. He forgot to take his PlayStation 5 into the bunker. He doesn't have anything to play with. But King Reza directed his message to Khamenei and also mentioned that all those who are defecting from the armed forces, his team have now created an official channel so they could go and communicate because, oh yes, the civil war is coming.
It is time to end the suffering. So today, I have a direct message for Ali Khamenei. Step down, and if you do, you will receive a fair trial and due process of law, which is more than you have ever given any Iranian. To other senior regime officials, those of you whose hands are soiled with the blood of the Iranian people, you too will have to face justice. But we will not repeat the mistakes in other failed transitions. To those of you who are loyal to the Iranian nation and not the Islamic Republic, there is a future for you in a democratic Iran. If you join the people now, the choice is yours to make. I know these officers, these soldiers, these brave men exist because they are reaching out to me and telling me they want to be part of this national salvation. But now, greater coordination is needed. So to that end, today I am announcing that I am establishing a formal channel for military, security, and police personnel to reach out directly to me, my team, and our expanding operation. This is a secure platform to efficiently manage the growing volume of inbound communications and requests from those breaking with the regime and seeking to join our movement. For those patriotic members of our armed forces, the time is now to join the nation. If you do, I will make sure your service to Iran is not forgotten and is celebrated.
We also have some breaking news. The Chancellor of Germany, Friedrich Merz, has come out to say that there is absolutely no reason to criticize the United States for attacking the Islamic Republic of Iran. Go on, Germany! Brilliant. Of course, we were expecting this from the German government compared to Emmanuel Macron and all the other weirdos. So we have this, of course, the Iranian people and Reza Pahlavi himself, they continue to say that we don't need the Americans to impose a regime change on the people. It's the job of the people. They have to take control and they will do it. And of course, Reza Pahlavi is now leading the opposition to ensure to do that. We don't need the Western globalists to go around and redraw the map or anything like that. That never works. And the 20th century was a big lesson to everybody. Reza Pahlavi himself also pointed out that they outlined the plan for the transition, especially in terms of what's going to happen in the first 100 days and what the actual plan for the referendum is going to be. Of course, this is a move to bring back secularism and democracy into Iran. A secular democratic country just like before. And of course, this is his plan.
I am stepping forward to lead this national transition, not out of personal interest, but as a servant of the Iranian people. I have a clear plan for transition and national renewal. Our transition and future democracy will be based on these three core principles: Iran's territorial integrity, individual liberties and equality of all citizens, separation of religion and state. The final form of this future democracy we seek will be for the Iranian people to decide in a national referendum. What I offer is not just a vision for the future of our country, but the plan to execute a peaceful, orderly transition. To achieve that, today I am announcing the following initial steps. First, I will convene a National Unity Summit. This gathering will include activists, dissidents, and groups from across the ideological spectrum who agree to these three principles. It will not be limited just to political groups, but business leaders, professionals, experts, and other groups with influence across Iranian society. This summit's objective will be to agree on a roadmap for democratic transition and reconstruction. Second, in parallel to the democratic process, I am developing an economic plan to rebuild Iran. We have already launched the Iran Prosperity Project, a comprehensive plan for the economic reconstruction and social stabilization of our country in 3 phases. The emergency phase of the first 4 to 6 months, the establishment phase of 18 to 24 months, and the normalization phase, which is long-term. In the coming days, my team of experts will publish the plans for the first 100 days after the collapse of the Islamic Republic based on this work.
Brilliant. And of course, Reza Pahlavi himself has confirmed that he is not seeking political office. It is his not job, obviously, to do that unless people want to push him to do something. And he will simply help with the transition and to ensure that the first constitutional referendum will take place, and of course the first free elections in decades and decades. Having said that, where is Ali? Where is Ali Khamenei? Oh no, so the dude is in a bunker with his family. The problem is, he's running out of food and nobody knows how to get in touch with him. So the regime's contacts, who are now some of them defecting, they've now said Khamenei is currently unreachable. No one can get in touch with him in his bunker. Top officials, including the former president Hassan Rouhani, and also the member of parliament Ali Larijani, and obviously former Justice Minister Sadegh Larijani as well. They're all seeking his approval, trying to get some sort of communication with him in terms of direct talks with the US or anything like that. They have failed to make contact. They don't know what to do. According to Iran Wire themselves and the Iranian outlets as well, only a small group, handful of people have access to Khamenei. They can go in and out. But Ali Larijani, who obviously his family are massive in terms of the Islamic Republic. He wants to position himself as a replacement. Nobody wants him, by the way. The difficulty is that his authority has been undermined because Khamenei disqualified him twice from running for presidency. So no one knows how Ali's doing. All we know that he might be a little bit bored. He doesn't have access to his medication. Of course, he does have cancer. And absolute mayhem right now in the capital. Right, while that's happening, Hamadana has been destroyed as well. The key IRGC facilities, that includes the missile and drone infrastructure near one of the air bases called Noja Air Base, a major military site, has been used for their operations. This has also been completely obliterated by the Israeli fighter jets. Let's go. Now, in terms of what's going on with the main IRGC headquarters in Karaj, we showed you a couple of videos. We have another video that's come out to us. Obviously, this place has been a major for the drone and missile programs as well. Let's quickly go to the next video from the former Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps headquarters. Let's go.
میدون سپاه کرج همین الان وای وای دم خونه وای وای
It's done. It's been destroyed. All right. What is happening with the United States? The Iranian regime are preparing to launch an attack on the Americans. The US Embassy in Doha in Qatar have now released a major warning, an alert urging all American citizens in Qatar to shelter in place until further notice. And they are saying that, of course, this is out of abundance of caution. We have to be on standby. They've also urged their citizens to enroll in STEP and obviously follow the embassy updates closely. We are expecting, well, as far as we know, the Islamic Republic to launch an attack within the next couple of days, but it could be before. If they could find a supreme leader, I'm not really sure why they need him, considering he's not really in command anymore. So the problem is everybody under him continues to get eliminated. Today in Tehran, almost 1,000 IRGC terrorists have been killed. So the Israeli Defense Forces have also made a statement. A spokesperson said that the latest strikes targeting multiple regime headquarters in Iran, including the Tarallah headquarters, the main IRGC command for securing Tehran against external enemies, the General Information Security headquarters as well, Iran's internal security forces building responsible for monitoring and controlling communications have all been destroyed over the last couple of hours. We do have a video from Tehran showing this.
عظیمیه کرج 2 تیر داشت آتش را حوالی فکر کنم گوهردشت یا میدون سپاه باشه.
Absolutely insane situation right now in the capital. Over the last couple of days, the Israelis have been focusing on a number of other cities, including Tabriz, Shiraz, Esfahan, and many other places. But today's all about the capital. Today's all about securing the capital. Now, the Sayed al-Shuhaba headquarters, which is a key IRGC command center, which is to coordinate Iran's regional militias and all the proxies, has also now been destroyed by the Israeli fighter jets. So good luck to the proxies of Iran. I'm not really sure how they're going to get funded now. It's gone, ladies and gentlemen. The proxies office gone. Now, Vanak district in the north of Tehran, which is not too far from the Evin prison, is now being targeted by the IAF. Let's quickly go and see what's going on in Vanak. Massive cloud and smoke across the city continues. The Sheikh Bahai area in Tehran, which is a key tech and government zone, which is linked to the main defense ministry of the country and also the cyber infrastructure. This was the latest target for the Israeli Defense Forces. Let's go and see what happened. little bit whoopsie. A whoopsie to the Iranian regime. Now, we do have some more information about one of the most important things that is about to happen to this planet, in case you were not aware. This is very important. Stay with me. Ladies